I tell you, these Washington Bullets don't wait for excitement to happen. They bring it.
They bring it. They only bring it here at Rampage.
And now all alone with 2 down on the inside is Chip Day. Hasn't even gotten the Jimmy Rave approved shirt off.
That might be beneficial.
There are grateful fans everywhere, yes.
Big suplex here by John, and they're going right to work. Oh, he holds on to it.
Let's not forget, most improved wrestler of the year is Chip Day, and one of the men most lethal with feet in the state of Georgia. Has the same kind of power as, say, a Tajiri or a Low Key in terms of his ability to use those feet as a weapon. But look at the tag team.
And a big nip up. These guys are nothing but excitement. Bill, I want to touch on that. Chip Day being the most improved wrestler of the year. That's one of the few flaws I believe with the voting this year is Chip's always been great. Chip's always been an underrated, well-educated pro wrestler. I think he's just under the tutelage of Jimmy Rave, he's been able to show it more.
Well, I think you're right. I think part of what has happened with the Jimmy Rave approved team is the greater visibility for what they've meant. All of them, each of them been doing well. The only true rookie in the group is Corey Hollis, now a little over 2 years in, but in his very first year was a Rookie of the Year, not only here in the state of Georgia, but also in Pro Wrestling Illustrated as a runner-up, the only non-WWE athlete to be named that. Look at these double team maneuvers here by the Bullets. One waits and, a little rest there. And he's got him covered. This is right here. I'm getting tired just watching this.
Good night. And you see what they did there was they took the kicks to Chip. Chip is known statewide as a kicker. Chip has the most dangerous feet in pro wrestling maybe today. And what they're doing is they're giving him a taste of his own medicine. They got Frankie back in, and Frankie's still...
And now tag him, but he didn't control his man, and that was a mistake. Standing drop kick proves it as Hollis goes down immediately.
Oh, big chop by Frankie. Corey in return.
Hollis, a tough young man in there, amateur wrestling background that we've chronicled many times. Also, obviously spends considerable time in the gym and is a tough son of a gun. Rolls through.
Big front chancery roll up. Bill, let me tell you about what you saw there in that exchange of chops. People don't understand the pain in the chops. They're not just done to make people go woo. They're not just a slap to the chest, Bill. They're trying to drive their hands through each other's chest, trying to reach into their chest and grab their spine almost. One of the most underrated moves in just form of pain is the chop in pro wrestling.
When done correctly, devastating. First time I ever saw it used was back in Florida in my earliest education in professional wrestling.
Don't date yourself, Bill. Don't
middle
date yourself.
Linebacker of the Miami Dolphins, a guy named Wahoo McDaniel, was making it popular. Then you move up into the Carolinas, and Greg the Hammer Valentine was throwing them right and left.
That's right.
And eventually Ric Flair came into play and popularized it on a national level. But it was those guys before him that were using it and using it as a tremendous weapon. I think one of the problems with chops is there's an awful lot of people, like a lot of maneuvers in wrestling, that simply don't do them well.
That's right. But you don't have to worry about that here in Rampage Pro Wrestling, Bill. We have the best of the best.
Right there, though, Jimmy Rave approved. We're talking about the teamwork of the Bullets, and now we're seeing the teamwork of Jimmy Rave approved.
And this is the one fatal flaw, which could be the downfall of the six-man, is Frankie took a heck of a beating in that match prior. Patrick Bentley,
lit him up right there, but there it is.
Frankie comes back, open hand right to the chest, but Chip's smart enough to stop them from tagging. Frankie's fighting with everything he's got.
Well, that was the smartest move. Get him over into that corner, the furthest one away.
Front chancery again. He could almost have him in a guillotine choke here. I can't tell from my vantage point. He switches to a gut wrench.
And he uses that very effectively, and I see with greater frequency. Also very hard to defend because there's really no way easily to get at him and get greater leverage than he has. Plus, he can do that with the considerable strength he has.
Not to mention, this is the same area that Patrick Bentley was just working over. It's not just a gut wrench. It's a gut wrench on a wounded man. Corey Hollis is fighting a bear, but he's fighting a bear with one leg.
And Frankie Valentine, and again, as we talk about a plan, they obviously let Patrick Bentley stay in the match as long as they thought he had much control and he was doing damage. As soon as it looked like Frankie Valentine might win the match, and no idea if he would have.
Nope.
Here they come. And I have a feeling what would have happened to Frankie Valentine were it not for the Bullets is what happened the last time, where they would have attacked him, the overkill, and they would have tried to do more damage to set him up for that next match.
And the thing about Frankie, and it could be one of Frankie's fatal downfalls as well, is Frankie won't let that go. If you offend Frankie Valentine, he's not the type of guy to sit back and take it. You attack Frankie from behind, whether it be one guy, two guys, three guys, 8 guys, Frankie will try to fight all of you. And Frankie will be more than happy to defend the television title in doing so. And that could be what comes back to finish Frankie, and I just worry about him.
Day taking his time right now goes for a lazy cover. Didn't really hitch that as hard as he could, even though he had the leg.
Fun, Bill. I think he's just having fun.
And now he's tying him up, trying to create difficulty in breathing as much as putting additional pressure on the upper body, and as he leverages additional pressure on the back.
You can see Frankie gasping for air, Bill. There's no telling how bad off his ribs are. He could have cracked ribs, he got bruised ribs, he could have a punctured lung. There's no telling at this point. And they're just applying pressure and making it more difficult for him to breathe.
Normally used to seeing Mike Posey use that particular maneuver as his control position in his matches. Posey not with Jimmy Rave Approved this week as he's on the road with Total Nonstop Action Impact Wrestling. Again, another proof of the fact that the Jimmy Rave Approved athletes are in demand by everybody and all over the place.
When they say they're the best, Bill, they're not just saying it to blow smoke. They are, in fact, some of the greatest wrestlers on the market today.
Right there, Chip Day grabs him. He tries to get it back. Right in the corner, total control, and here comes the wrestling machine.
And this is where Corey thrives. This is where Corey, with a man down, this is like a kid in the candy store to Corey. Goes right back to that rear bear hug, reverse bear hug.
And it's been a usual weekend for Jimmy Rave Approved, Chip Day, Corey Hollis. This has been their third day of continuous wrestling action, as several days ago they were both at the NWA show in Soddy Daisy, Tennessee. Then they moved down further into the state of Georgia and then down here to Warner Robins. They're staying busy, are the Jimmy Rave Approved team.
Because they're the hottest thing on the market, Bill, whether I like it or not, and I definitely don't. And it's not for the guys personally, and I think they bring it every night in the ring.
Well, and Patrick Bentley several nights ago vied against Shawn Tempers for the North American title, the NWA North American title. Cover right here.
And that's the smartest thing they could have done right now.
You know, then wrestlers resist coming in to break up pins in that fashion because frequently it just draws more damage to the opponent. But in that case, I don't think they thought that Frankie Valentine was going to be able to kick out. Bentley hooks him, takes him over hard, floats through, covers, should hook the leg, doesn't.
There you go. I don't know how much of a choice they have at this point, Bill. And what we've got now is Patrick's got him in a top wrist lock, but what he's doing is he's extending his rib cage too, Bill. He's not just pulling back on that arm. When he's pulling back on his arm, he's also pulling back on that oblique muscle, which is well defined on Frankie, but still, it's very injured at this point. Again, sound strategy by the Jimmy Rave Approved, as much as I hate to admit it.
Frankie still tries to get a vertical base, uses the top of his head as a weapon, and that can hurt him as much as it does Bentley. But look at it, instead of getting the tag, mistake here, I think, going for the pin, and he's cut off as a result.
But you gotta wonder how aware of his surroundings is Frankie at this point.
He may still think he's in that match with Patrick Bentley at that moment. You're 100% right, Sal.
A big double stomp there by Day. And Jimmy Rave, wherever he is, I know he's sitting back and he's enjoying this, Bill. Much as all our great fans on Fox 24 are.
Very much so. And if you're watching here on Fox 24 very soon, right after this show is over, you can go over to Fox Radio, WPLA 1670, 10 a.m. on. You want to tune in, you're going to be hearing very soon Sal Rinauro bringing you exciting Rampage Pro Wrestling news, information, and all sorts of nonsense.
Exclusive interview. Well, the nonsense is Marvelous Michael Stevens, but we'll have exclusive. What a punch there by Day. We'll have exclusive interviews. We'll have exclusive news. We'll be announcing matches very soon. 1670 The Fan. And Frankie's out, Bill. I don't want to see a guy throw a match.
Rolls through.
He rolls through. The heart of Frankie Valentine is absolutely immeasurable. It's so immeasurable, I can barely say the word. Chip.
Tough word, has a lot of syllables.
I'm just saying, the double M will get you every time.
Right there. There's no die in Frankie Valentine. But look at him, even after throwing that punch, he has nothing left, and he's literally crawling as Chip Day stalks him.
There's no gas in the tank, Bill. He just went through a war with Patrick Bentley and got thrusted right into the six-man with little time to recover. And he has two fresh members of Jimmy Rave Approved in Day and Hollis, just abusing him, just wearing him down. And I believe they may have busted his face open, Bill. Standard bear hug right back to the buckle.
And you can see, obviously, tremendous cardiovascular conditioning on Patrick Bentley, who's been in and out of this match even after the long match before, and you can tell that he's ready to get back in this again. Bridge there, this could be it, but no. Valentine manages to get a hand in there.
Frankie's still fighting. Frankie's still holding out hope. All it takes is one tag, Bill. All he has to get is one hand to the right guy, and he's just wearing out Frankie's face. He's embarrassing him, Bill. Corey's just having too much fun. He's like a shark.
And he's busted the nose.
He's like a shark, Bill.
I think I see some blood.
We've seen Corey's elbows destroy opponents' faces before, and it remains true here today. Bill, and I hate to say it, and I don't want to see a guy throw a match, but Frankie's got to think long-term here, Bill. He can't just be focused on this match. Frankie's going to be back here in 2 weeks on February 12th, and if Frankie gets beat today, he can still defend the title in 2 weeks, Bill. He's got to think about self-preservation.
One of the albatrosses of being the television champion is the obligation to defend it on television. Some champions run from it, others embrace it, and Frankie Valentine, one of those that embrace it, and I think that's been at times to his disadvantage, particularly when you're against a unit like the Jimmy Rave Approved team, who have a master plan that doesn't have to happen today, doesn't have to happen tomorrow, but they believe will happen inevitably. They are determined that they will become the television champion.
Look at Chip there. What you didn't see there was Chip holding those trunks too. Whatever fight Frankie has left in him, they are systematically
wait a minute now. Bentley going after that probably broken nose at this point. It appears the blood is flowing now freely out of the left nostril of Frankie Valentine. That's also going to create a tremendous difficulty in breathing.
Bill, this is a massacre out here. Oh! For those of you at home, if you've ever been kicked in the ribs, turn that up by 20, and that's what a Chip Day blow feels like.
And there go the bullets down, and now the
ring.
triple teaming begins.
Frankie moves.
What?
There's a collision there. Here comes Bentley, hip tossing to all three of them.
And there's
Frankie
a tag.
got the tag. Here we go. Now we're talking. Big lung blower there by John.
Launches Bentley nearly out of the ring, but cut off right there by Hollis. Hollis goes around, reverses.
What's he doing here?
Gut wrench takes him over.
Frosty hangover. The knees right to the spine, Bill. But John's back on his feet. Nope.
His version of the same basic thing.
Can't turn your back on an opponent. Here comes Bentley. Fisherman neck breaker. Dropped him right on his neck. Frankie Valentine's back on his feet, Bill. He hits the code breaker. That's how this whole story to begin with. Spinning super kick. Frankie's out. Oh, what a shot.
Referee Dustin Robinson letting this go. Not even sure at this point if I know who the legal men are in this.
Bill, I don't know if anybody. I think Dustin's standing to stay alive.
Oh, launches it
right
he
there,
launched
but that backfired.
That didn't.
He's going for a reverse power slam. Lands on his feet like a cat.
Hooks him up.
Hollis
Trio
is up
woe.
with the trio woe. What do we got here? John up top. Oh, he double stomped him.
And now the long ride doesn't get all of it, but gets a piece of it on the back.
I think he got more than enough.
And now Corey Hollis down, Chip Day isolated. Patrick Bentley, though, trying to get back in. Oops. Sorry, Patrick. Out he goes, rolled through by Chip Day.
Chip's got him wheelbarrow. This is that move we saw last week. Knee to the face. Cover up, kid. Cover up, kid. 2. Yes. These Bullets are exciting, Bill. Another big win by the Washington Bullets. What an exciting episode of Rampage we had today, Bill.
Well, whoa. We have some guests.
As if there weren't enough already. What is this outfit that crew has?
Watch it, Toots.
Always a class outfit.
Who do you two think you are?
Washington.
You look like two you Washington BBs who ain't never seen a gym.
Burn!
Bullets.
Burn!
Yo, Lamont, get your daddy Fred Sanford out of the ring. You're stinking to join up. You come in here thinking you're tag team of the year just because your mama and 4 stepdaddies voted 100 times for you. You see, we don't wrestle no graveyard or no junkyard from Atlanta. We wrestle here at Rampage. We're the hottest thing on TV in Central Georgia, making Warner Robins. You ask the ladies about that. Hotline Law is about cashing checks, snapping necks, and having a ha. It rhymes with checks and necks, and is a 3-letter word, ends with X. Do the math. You're not going to get a match because you ain't on our level. Yeah, you ain't got necks. This ain't the black top. You look like too good looking, you can shine some shoes. Shawn, your shoes are blinging. Why don't you tie his laces for us? Yeah! That's what I'm talking about. You can't tie. You learn that or you're still using Velcro under your kick pads.
All the times I've been happy to see Dr. Gayton.
What do you want, you fish-eyed fool?
You know what? I am very impressed with these gentlemen's desire. Something that I love desire. I have actually seen the Rock and Roll Express take care of the Russians. I saw that myself. I believe these men can take care of you. And I think I'm going to find out in February 12th to be exact, whether or not the Washington Bullets can take care of Hot Light Lava. So we'll just make that match right now. The Washington Bullets will face Hot Light Lava on February 12th right here.
They don't deserve to face us. They ain't beat nobody.
You know what? You're saying they haven't beaten anybody?
Nobody.
You know, 2 negatives makes a positive. So let's find out if they can beat somebody. Let's find out if they can beat Hot Light Lava.
Hey, these people don't need a world-class eye surgeon to see that Hot Light Lava is really the best tag team in Georgia, not these fools.
These people don't need hearing aids to tell that the 2 of you are incapable of talking properly. Bottom line, the Washington Bullets are going to face Hot Light Lava on February 12th.
You hear it, folks, February 12th, here at Johnny G's, Washington Bullets vs. Hot Light Lava.
What an episode of Rampage Pro Wrestling fans. We'll be back doing it all over again next week. You're not going to want to miss it. Thanks to Sal Rinauro. Hello to Ben Masters. We'll see you next week.